So today we're going to talk about how to disassemble a World War II era German Luger. Now the first thing we'll obviously want to do with any firearm is to make sure that the chamber is completely clear so we don't have any live rounds in the chamber. I've already checked this to make sure off camera before I'd even taken this. So we're actually going to leave this in the locked back position. This is the position that the gun would be in if you had run out of ammunition and the slide, or toggle in this case, would lock back on the last round. So now, what we're going to do is, I already had a magazine in here, but if you didn't have a mag, you're going to want to load the magazine into here. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to remove the magazine because we don't need this when we are disassembling the gun. So we're just going to press that button, just like that. So now, we're going to do something a little bit weird. There's another button right here. You probably didn't notice it. This is not a mag release. This is a takedown lever. So we're going to press it down. So you can't really see that real clear on the camera, but you're going to press it down. And then what we're going to do is, this is in the sprung position. We're going to lower it into the not sprung position by pulling back and then releasing it nice and gently. The thing that's going to come flying off, you're going to want to be careful. You might want to have your hand cupped ready. This is called the slide plate. The slide plate's on the side here. It's what holds everything together. Now, when this comes off, you can just gently press it down a little bit so that the toggle is flat again instead of up, and you're going to move forward. This is going to completely disassemble the gun. If you look inside there, you can see the striker mechanism. You can see all the inner workings. I could further take this apart to remove the barrel and everything. Shouldn't be necessary for general cleaning purposes, but I just wanted to field strip it just so you could see how the inner workings. When this gun is disassembled, you should have 3 pieces. Now, how to put it back together. This is the tricky part, and this is what tripped me up. So you got, this is the barrel as well as the toggle assembly. It's going to have this little piece over here. Now, this is important because if you don't put this in the right place, your gun's not going to work. So you see over here, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right. So what you want to do is you want to work this little tool. So you're going to ride the rails with the body of this thing. When you're doing it though, you're going to actually take your finger and press it up so that this thing stays up. You don't want it to get caught in the middle because otherwise the spring action will not work. So you're going to look, let me get nice and close here so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to go right in here, you're going to press it in, and then you're going to press it all the way in. So now what we're going to do, you're going to notice because you did this right, there's going to be resistance. And while you're riding at the trigger guard, not touching the trigger, just the trigger guard, you're going to feel spring resistance. If you do not feel spring resistance at this step, you did it wrong. You're going to want to pull it back off and do it again because you put it in the wrong spot. But you're going to feel spring resistance right now. And so what you're going to do is you're going to gently press a little bit. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back around so you can kind of see a little better. What you're going to want to do, this slide plate mechanism is going to have to go back on again. So what you want to do, you're going to line it up. There's going to be a little trigger plate hole. And so this trigger plate hole is going to be right over here. And so what you want to do, you're going to line this up so that the trigger plate hole will go right back on. This little plate over here, the little thing that juts out, is going to go right underneath where that takedown lever was in the first step. So what you're going to need to do is just torque this back a little bit until you actually can feel the plate come in. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a reset point where you can push this thing back in. If you don't push it, the reset thing will not push back enough and you won't be able to put the takedown lever up. Otherwise, it won't reassemble. At this point, the gun should be back to normal again. And you'll feel the springs up here in the toggle. And just to function test this, we're going to put a mag back in. And we're going to pull back. And as you can see, the gun locks back on the last round. And that is how you disassemble and reassemble a German Luger.